it's very revealing to read through somebody's bookshelves, and here at the museum we have the opportunity to see what a president was reading, and not just a president, but a governor and Secretary of State, Secretary of War, ambassador. What does he read to inform his decisions?
Any surprises?
He liked Gothic novels, interesting Gothic novels from what we can see, but a lot more predictable. We see a lot of legal philosophy and political history. Loved the ancient historians, Greek and Roman historians, a little more predictable.
You were telling me that as a Secretary of State and as a governor, I mean, there were certain things you would expect that kind of person to read, but you had some surprises.
We saw an interesting insight into religion, which is something he actually doesn't talk about at all in his correspondence. So we saw a few books pop up on specifics. We saw some interesting history, the history of the Moravians, for example. Still not sure why. We saw a wonderful view of science, chemistry, astronomy, natural history, hydraulics. The military science, of course, we would expect for a president who survived the War of 1812 and the burning of Washington, and became president immediately after. He would be interested in the science of fortification, possibly. But the chemistry and astronomy, for example, just seem to be interests of his.
Well, this is the kind of exhibit, it's just kind of a different kind of exhibit. You look at it and you just think it's not what we usually see.
No, it's very personal. Books are very personal.
Yeah.
And we were pleased to start to get a more comprehensive picture of Monroe, because he's very good in his correspondence about discussing his political views, but he doesn't always tell us what informs those views. He doesn't always tell us what his personal interests are. He's very, very focused on what he's doing, and the books start to help inform some of that background.
How did you find out some of the books? How would you go about finding books in his library?
A few different ways. He left there are four primary book lists that he left of things that he purchased while he was both in the United States and then overseas as a diplomat. And they come from his earliest years as a congressman serving with Jefferson. He bought several books from Jefferson's library. They go all the way up through his presidency. So we have those lists. We also have books that have his very distinctive book plate in them, and those are on display here at the museum as part of the exhibit. And we still find those eBay, auction sites, used bookstores, antique bookstores. He also talks in his letters sometimes if he receives a book or if he's looking for one. So those are the three primary sources that we use.
How long is this here for?
The exhibit will be up through August.